cabozantinib or Cometriq was also studied specifically in the small population of patients with RET rearrangements. That was presented by Alex Drillon from Memorial Sloan Kettering. Lena, what do you think of those data? Is RET going to be a target that we consider one of the actionable ones that we routinely want to be looking for in the first-line setting because we have a treatment, or is this still an asterisk that needs a lot more follow-up before it becomes more broadly considered?
I think it needs more follow-up primarily because of how nonspecific cabozantinib is and because of the toxicities of cabozantinib. But I think this study did really demonstrate that RET as a target is a very valid target. It was very striking to me that the number of patients who got even the dose they started with, which is actually already less than the approved dose, 60 milligrams, was very little. Actually, most of the patients had dose reduction, some to 20 milligrams, but still had very sustained benefit, which suggests that there's a high potency of the drug against the target, and that you can get sustained benefit. We did see that. There was an overall response rate of 44%, a higher overall benefit, and it was sustained in a fairly similar fashion to what we've seen with other targeted therapies. Maybe not as good as ALK-targeted drugs, but certainly pretty similar or maybe better than some of the BRAF-targeted drugs. So I do think it validates RET as a target. It also emphasizes that we need better and maybe more specific drugs. I think there are plans to evaluate alectinib in RET-altered patients, which may afford similar activity with lesser toxicity since it is a more specific drug.
Josh, what do you think?
Yeah, RET is one of these targets that we really want to be actionable because it doesn't coexist with oral alterations. And in never smokers, once you rule out ROS, ALK, and the EGFR mutants, you do find some of these RET translocated patients. And to me, until recently, has been one of my highest frustrations because you tell the patient, oh, I have good news. We found one specific event. And my personal experience with drugs that from their preclinical profile were supposed to work has been extremely disappointed. I have seen zero activity with Zactima, which in theory does hit RET and is resistant in thyroid, but I don't think it works through RET in thyroid. Probably works because it's also hitting the anti-angiogenic components. I have seen very limited activity with Sutent, which in theory also hits RET. So I was very interested by the cabozantinib that, unfortunately in France, cabozantinib is not available. And I agree with you. I mean, response rate close to 40% is encouraging. It might not qualify to true oncogene addiction because to me it's usually above 50%, but we are getting close to there. And I really hope these results will hold true, and I really eagerly await, indeed, the alectinib trial that is going to be developed in RET, because this is a population where we know there are no other structural changes, so we should be able to efficiently stop the tumor if we really hit the target.